Hey, hey. Hello. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. There we go. All right. Yo, Schlanks. Getting in right away here. It's like maybe I should recrop DK's stream. Pog indeed. Should be a fun match. Got DKtsunami practicing a little Yoshi Valley shortcut here. Could be a bit of foreshadowing. This is a good pair up. Both players are pretty close in rank, although I want to say Cheech has been more active on the time trials grind recently. I'll have to look at DKtsunami's recent PRs, but it seems like he switches to some other games. But both players who love to main with DK should be fun. Hopefully they've gotten the message. Looks like Cheech has at least. DK going for some YOLO Valley. Nice. Looks good on that one. Pretty bold strat for a one try. A very quick turnaround. Looks like that might not make it though. Got that one though. Cheech trying to avoid those moles, but clipping one. And Dylan, DK getting that final shortcut there. It's like we're buffering a little bit on DKtsunami's stream. Let's get this underway. Not sure if DKtsunami is looking at the Discord chat here. It's going to be warming up for another hour, so. Yo, LRXC. All right, he's ready now. Yeah, I don't know if that's my internet or his. All right, DKtsunami picking Koopa Troopa Beach, which looks like Cheech is already getting warmed up on conveniently. But we are ready to go, Cheech. Let's do this thing. All right. Give a countdown here. Both giving good luck. You love to see it. And they're off. Yeah, Cheech has been doing a lot of time trials recently, trying to get his times all in the top 200. All right, so Cheech is about 5 seconds ahead, maybe, just in the lag of the streams. DKtsunami bonking a little bit there on the first mountain. Cheech just getting into the missing that corner. DKtsunami also getting through pretty conservatively. 2781 for Cheech, 2761. So DKtsunami about 0.2 ahead. Definitely one of DKtsunami's better tracks. It seems like one that he plays a lot, has grinded a lot. All right, we got 2769, so a little better from Cheech there. And is was that the same split, 2761, as DK's first lap? Pretty consistent there. Cheech dancing a little bit there. DKtsunami doing that same conservative straight jump in there. We've got 123.44 for Cheech. And 123.09 for DKtsunami. Good pick for him. Well played. Yo, Vansky. That was a nice race. Pretty close, but yeah, I don't know. Both of them had solid strats. Cheech got a little messy, he said. Couple little cart dances here and there. See what Cheech decides on to bring us to next. I guess DKtsunami, also known as Dr. DK Bonanza. All right, Cheech picking Chaco Mountain. 3 lap. See how this one goes. I feel like this is maybe one Cheech has been doing recently. Cheech is ready. DK ready. Let's go. All right. Like Cheech starting a little before DK once again. About 5-second delay between the two. Getting that nasty bounce off the side of the mountain. Some wild lines here. Got to tighten up to bring it back. DK moving through pretty well here. Getting pretty close to that boulder. Using the first shroom there. DK on the end of the first lap. 34.79 and 33.56. So a little over a second DK's got. Cheech running into some walls here, which is one of the big dangers of Chaco Mountain. Yeah, that shroom looked like it got cut a little short there. Using the last one there at the end of the lap. Same for DK, but gets snagged a bit there. 34.23, 33.51. So DKtsunami furthering his lead here. Cheech just having a lot of issue. That spot in particular can be tricky to get a good line up and around that hill. Very easy to snag on the corner there. DK getting through those boulders. That was probably Cheech's last hope there. Getting some good hills though. Better than DK's to finish. 143.52 for Cheech. 140.45. Yeah, the nerves can be tricky with these one tries. Can be difficult to find the balance, but I believe Cheech has what it takes to lock in. DKtsunami off to a pretty solid start. But you never know what can happen. Everybody gets nervous for sure. But just remember how much you've played this game. Got a lot of experience. Just let it happen. So it'll go back to DKtsunami for the next pick. Hovering over Star Cup perhaps, or Special. And choosing DKJP Shortcuts. Should be fun. Have to bring it to a DK match, he says. All right, here we go. Giving him a countdown. See who gets this skip quicker. All right. Cheech getting that, both going out into the water, but they'll have that first skip done. Cheech still has that mushroom to get back up the hill. DK used it to get through, so Cheech misses that one. DK gets it, but falls into the water, so Cheech might have a little time to catch up here. Oh, dang, that one didn't hit either. So DK coming up to the end of lap 2. Going into the water, but getting it. And now Cheech does the same, about a lap behind. DK coming in for the finish. 49.37. Cheech coming into lap 3. 112.06. All right, solid start for DKtsunami. Taking the set. But who knows what can happen here. Cheech might just be getting warmed up. Very strong player. Both are. Yep, DK used that joker. So that's his shortcut joker. And now it'll go to Cheech for the next pick. All right, just clearing out the rules. It's Cheech's pick. Cheech picking Yoshi Valley 3 lap. Nice one. This should be interesting. Always is. Both are ready. And here goes the countdown. Seems like we've had a pretty consistent 5-second delay. Something like that between the two. Pretty nice start there from Cheech, going through the spinies. And getting through, not getting stuck in the wall, the volcano. Very good. See what Dylan does here. A little safer. Ooh, Cheech goes off. See if DK can stay on. And it does. Cheech gets the fortunate warp over there. Didn't have to go over the same hairpin. All right, so let's see if he can bring it back. DK 30, 29, 37, 47, so about 7 seconds. Cheech both going for the safe route this time. So Cheech is just hoping that DK falls off, which he does not on that hairpin. So DK is still pretty far in the lead. See if we get any risky strats on this last lap. 31.97, 31.79. So Cheech gets a little bit better of a lap. And going for the risky strat there. Doesn't fall off, which is good. But hitting a couple spinies, you hate to see it. And DK getting over the hairpin. Most likely securing it here. So DK with 133.39. And Cheech 141.19. Nothing much you can do about that. Except hope the other person falls off as well. The curse of the one tries. It's just the way it goes. All right, DK picking BC next. I believe Cheech, you've got it in you. You can get it. Bring it back. All right. But that's also the other thing is, you know, some days are better than others with this game. So it happens. All right, Cheech is ready. And DK is ready. And here they go. Yeah, I mean, if this was a versus match, things may be a very different story right now. Although DKtsunami is a very good versus player as well. But Cheech is pretty much top tier. Cheech getting in that outside line, very clean there. Well done. Same with DK. Bit of a weird line over the bridge for Cheech. A little bit cleaner of a jump for DK. But Cheech getting those MTs just fine up that spiral. DK's looking pretty good on the spiral as well. Got 38.71 over for Cheech. Hitting the bush a little bit. I missed DK split because of the bush. I would guess that DK's a little bit ahead at this point. See how these thwomps look. Looks like it. Nice staircase there from Cheech. And pretty smooth from DK. DK is a very solid player. I will say that. His driving is very steady, which is dangerous in a one-try match. 39-12, 38-20. DK getting that bonk on the bush this time. And Cheech hitting one of those thwomps a little bit. Oh, a big one for DK. So that might be putting Cheech ahead at this point. That really switches things up there. See what it comes down to here. We have 156.38 and 157.86. Cheech on the board. I told you. I believed. I knew it. Yeah, it can be difficult. I think watching a stream that Marvel and Enta hosted, it seemed like they had a way where they would delay one stream until the other was caught up to it at the start. I need to learn how to do that because that was cool. It's nice to be able to watch them as synced as possible. Yes, that thwomp hit was unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, so now it is back to Cheech to pick. It's like he's hovering over a mushroom cup. And he's going to go with KD Flap. So using his Flap Joker. First one from him. DK is ready. Cheech is ready. Give him a countdown. Here they go. Definitely a lot resting on this first mushroom here. Around this curve. Both looked pretty good. I want to say Cheech's looked a little cleaner. Looks like they're a little more synced up this time, which is nice. And we have 3380 for Cheech and 3372 for DK. Wow, really close. Nice one. Very close one there. Well done by both. And then, so now it is back to DK for the next pick. And DK choosing another flap, this time Toad's Turnpike. Both are ready. Give them a countdown. All right. Pretty good start boost from both. Nice shroom there from Cheech. Also from DK. Looking pretty even so far. Shroom number 2 there for Cheech. Like DK's holding on to his for a little while longer. Both moving through the traffic pretty well here. Not hitting any trucks so far. And DK getting off that second shroom. And Cheech the third. 50-45. And 50-35. Dang, another really close one. Within 0.1 of each other. 10 hundredths, the last two tracks here. Wait. Oh no, I did that stupid zero problem again. Made it look like Cheech got that one. All right, that's another set for DK. Well played. And Cheech getting on the board there. Can't say it's a complete shutout. And also, you never know what could happen. There's been I saw one match this past week where somebody took the first two sets and then the other person took the next two sets after that. So really, it's not over till it's over. All right, so then it will go back to Cheech to pick first for this set, since DK won the last set. And Cheech going Sherbertland 3-lap. Nice pick. Sounds good to me. Both are ready. Give them their countdown. See what these penguins have in store. Each getting over those cracks. Clean there. Same with DK. Not doing anything too risky. See how these mushrooms look. Nice. Cheech getting through behind the penguin. Pretty easy. And DK getting on the inside line, which is very nice. Getting around that penguin at the end. Good sign. 33.74. 33.64. So DK just less than a tenth ahead after that first lap. And DK going for a bigger jump there. I didn't see the one Cheech took. Definitely cleared a lot of it. Ooh, penguin coming around, but Cheech gets right on the inside of it. DK as well, getting a good clean inside line, just like the first lap. 33.40 and 33.27, so still not crazy amount ahead. That was a really nice jump from Cheech. A little more conservative for DK there. Still, I think like less than a half a second between them. Nice timing for the shroom there for Cheech. DK as well gets a nice clean line. No penguins coming in last minute there. And also on that inside line there, 140.52. And 140.49. Wow, that was so close. It looked like Cheech was catching up there on the last lap. But just barely ahead for DK. Jeez, just 300s. DK saying aggressive shrooms helped him. I think that's a fair bet. He definitely got those tight shroom lines on the inside of the penguins all 3 laps. But Cheech was also getting some very nice lines around those penguins, the mushrooms. So that brings it back to DK for the next pick here. Looks like he's mulling it over, hovering over Star Cup, meditating on Special Cup, perhaps. Looks like he's made a decision, typing it out. DKJP normal this time. That sounds fun. See how these ramps go. Both are ready. And here they go. Each getting one of those guano fruits, but pretty good lines. And safely over the ramp, and DK as well. Looking pretty even so far. See how these cave climbs go. Pretty nice from Cheech. 39.37. 39.32. Wow. Just once again, less than a tenth of a second away from each other. Nice ramp from Cheech. Looking like a little safer for DK. A little further to the right. See if Cheech can win back some of that time. Dragging on the hill a little bit, but getting the MT off. Misses the MT up the hill. 39.05. 39.64. So Cheech got about a half second back there. So I guess he's a little less than a half a second ahead. Nice mushroom there. Nice ramp jump. And DK's is a little farther to the right again. This could be another point for Cheech. No big tragedies happen here. See how this cave climb looks. Probably going to take it pretty safe. And 158.04 for Cheech. 158.28 for DK. Very close still. Cheech getting another point on the board. Love to see it. Tying it up for this set. Yo, Amaral. Thanks for that. It's been a great match so far. Two very solid drivers here. And pretty close in the ranks to each other. So, never know what's going to happen. All right, so that will bring it back to Cheech for the next track pick. See what he's strategizing. Hovering over Flower Cup, perhaps. Typing in the chat. Okay, Mushroom Cup. Going to Luigi Raceway. 3-lap. Interesting pick. Looks like DKtsunami is maybe shaking his head no or something on his own stream. See how this one goes. See what the shroom strats here are for both of them. I'm guessing 1-2-0, but I was playing versus Darius, and it seems like he's been doing 3 shrooms in 1 lap, which is also a valid 3 lap strat. All right, shroom number 1 coming up for Cheech. Pretty close to the wall. Doesn't get the mystery boost. DK going for 2. 33.45 on a 1 shroom. 32.85 for 2 shrooms. So DK ahead, but with 1 less mushroom here. All right, Cheech going for both. Getting a pretty nice line there. DK hitting the wall, 32.70, so a little better than DK's 2 shroomer, 33.61. I think that was a little worse than Cheech's, so Cheech might have the advantage. Can't remember exactly what Cheech's lap 1 was, but think it might have been a 4x. 33 4x. All right. Cheech getting a little bit of grass, but coming back for those MTs around the curve. DK coming in pretty tight here. Let's see. 140.14 and 140.68. Nice one, Cheech, but still really, really close, as pretty much all of these have been. Cheech pulling ahead in this set. It'll be going back to DK for the next track pick. See if he can hang back on to this set. Or if not, Cheech will take the set himself. All right, DK picking Wario Stadium. Cheech is ready. DK is ready. Here we go. Second longest track in the game. Plenty of spots to gain or lose time here. Cheech going with the safe straight line, and DK as well. I think that's what my strat has been, at least aside from that one time I did try to go for the riskier line at the beginning and I tumbled, so can really come back at you. Both of them bonking a little bit and DK a good amount over that big curve there. So Cheech might be pulling ahead with a decent advantage. Oh, and DK also goes into the wall on that shroom, which is going to lose some more time. So Cheech just has to keep it steady. And DK is probably going to try to pull a few extra MTs or something. Kart dancing a little bit down the hill. Looks like DK is just trying to keep it steady. Avoid any further big tumbles or anything. Just smart. Cheech coming around pretty tight. Final corner. And 115.88. And 117.96. So about 2 seconds Cheech has in front. Got to keep it together though. It's got 2 more laps on this very long track. Just got to play it safe, play it smart. Looking pretty good there on the mushroom, getting around without any big tumbles or anything. DK hitting that wall again, going for a more aggressive shroom, which is a fair strat. Makes sense he would want to try to get some time back with that. Dance a little bit too close to the left side there, trying to get around that hairpin turn. Cheech is looking pretty good on this one for the moment. Little bonk on the wall there, but it's probably just fine. 115.47. And DK coming in here, 116.43. So that is another probably about a second that Cheech is ahead. Should be able to confidently take this set. Like Logan said, I agree, yep. But still gotta play out the rest. Anything can happen, and DK will be right behind you if any tragedies happen. But Cheech gets a nice clean mushroom, pretty safe, but gets through. DK going super aggressive again and hitting that wall. But like I said, I can't blame him since that's definitely a spot where you can get back some time. Yo, hydration. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, let me make sure I've got the track selected here. Cheech coming into the final bend. It's looking pretty good for him. Going for the swag ending. Not quite getting over the wall. 346.58. Well done by Cheech. Pretty steady laps. 351.84 for DK. Also well done. Just keeping it together. But also trying to go aggressive since he knew he had to make up some time. So there you go. One set back for Cheech. Showing us he's got some talent here, as we already knew, but good to see both these drivers getting some points. Fourth set could be 5. Honestly, I would not be completely surprised if it was a 5-set match here. PA meet usually like the first weekend or second weekend in March. I don't know if they set the official date yet. All right, so now it'll be back to DK to pick the first track of this. Yo, that would be awesome, Hydration. Missed you this last year, but it was yeah, great hanging out with you a couple of years ago. Oh, okay, 6th through 8th. Schlanks has already got it. All right. DK bringing us back to KTB, which makes sense. That was a pretty. It was not too far away from each other, but it was a relatively confident win for DK on the first one. All right, Cheech is ready. And DK is ready. And here they go. Sweet. Yeah, it seems like hopefully we'll have even more players this year, even more attendees, I guess. I had about 30, a little over 30, or was it 35, something like that. I know it's in the Discord. DK going for the unconventional ramp there at the start. The Cheech gets a 27.72, 27.58 for DK, so about 15 hundredths ahead. Cheech jumping in, DK doing that straight line right in. Cheech with 27.58, tying DK's first lap, 27.49. So still not that far away from each other. Both players are playing really consistently, and Cheech just improved on the first lap. But then again, so did DK. Ah, dang. Oh, both hit the ramp. Both. Oh, wow. Big play right there. That was crazy. I did not see that coming. Honestly. Wow. Interesting one. Well done, Cheech. That was really crazy. $136.60. DK. All right. So now it is over to Cheech for the next pick. Who's choosing Royal Raceway 3-lap. Let's see. DK is ready. Cheech is ready. Give him a countdown. Yes, indeed. I'm from the Philly area. Definitely going to be doing some IRL karting with LRXC here. Would definitely be down for that. Pretty nice jump there from Cheech, and sort of the slide up the hill for DKtsunami. It'd be interesting to see difference in these laps. Pretty good mushroom there from Cheech. Maybe a little bit wider from DK, but also very nice. Oh, out in Lancaster? Nice. I've definitely been out in Lancaster a good amount, and sometimes I work in Lidditz, not too far away. DK not getting that hop down there. 48.88, 49.11. So about a third of a second maybe Cheech has got in front. Gets over just fine. DK doing that same MT up the hill, which is a solid strat. Solid way to make sure you get over the hill and not getting any drag on there. Both getting pretty nice shrooms there. Looked like maybe DK lost a little bit of speed at the end, but got a really nice line. Both taking that S-turn very well. 48.92, 49.01. So almost very, very close to the first lap, how it was. Cheech getting a little bit more of a lead, but it's not a huge lead. Still under a half a second. Or maybe, I don't know. It's like DK's was a little soon there, leaving out that second MT for Cheech. Be interesting to see how close this gets. Pretty solid from both in this final spot. 226.72 for Cheech and 227.06 for DK. The Cheech comeback is happening. Could be a 5-set match here. Just like I was saying before, I was wondering if this might happen where I saw in another match this week. Somebody took the first 2 sets, the other person took the next 2 sets. Never know which way it's gonna go. All right. Looks like DK is picking Rainbow Road, flap. Looks like both are saying ready, but I don't see the track on their screen. There they go. All right. Give them a countdown. See who can get this rainbow flap quicker. Cheech getting that MT at the beginning and a good tran. DK getting some air off the first hill. But Cheech kind of cut the first shroom short. So DK might have caught back up a little bit there. Looked like Cheech did a couple more MTs around that first bend. DK kind of took a long slide there. Looks like both kind of coming on the inside of that chop. Very quick MTs there from Cheech, looking good. DK pumping him out as well. Looked like the chop was a little further in the cycle maybe. Nice round there from Cheech. Maybe a little tighter than DK's MTs. Nice mushroom there from Cheech. A little bit of a cart dance for DK. I'm guessing that Cheech might have a bit of an advantage here, but given the lag, the delay between streams, it's hard to know for sure. Since DK is very close. A little bit of a bonk there. Let's see what this comes out to. 141.14 and 140.45. So that one goes to DK. Thought that looked pretty close. And there were a couple mistakes that I noticed of DK's, but maybe I missed some more of Cheech's. So DK bringing it back for this set, getting on the board. Yeah, versus mode can really you gotta have peace of mind. You gotta just accept the fact that you may get rained down on with items. And there's not much you can do about it. All right, so that will bring it back to Cheech for the next pick. See what he goes with to try to clutch out this lap and bring us to set 5, perhaps. Hovering over Mushroom Cup once again. The track pools have been reset. I guess last set. So we could see some repeats here. Cheech going Wario Stadium shortcut, 3 lap. That should be fun. Good choice. All right. Bear off. Cheech going for a nice, safe start as well as DK. Not getting that first hit back over, but gets it on the second try after turning around. And over again. Seems like that's maybe a strat, that turnaround strat here for Cheech. Getting lap 2. So this could be it. But you never know. Now, Cheech has no mushrooms, and DK just needs to... Oh, there it is. Before I could even say it. Very nice play from Cheech. 49-51. See if DK keeps pursuing here. Gets back over for lap 2. And a quick back jump back over. Ooh, very nice lap 2 there. 865. Now he's locked in. DK just getting all of the 0 frames. Oh, looks like it froze, but 125.10. And we are indeed going into set 5. Well done, both. We'd love to see one of these any of these matches go to set 5. Just shows how evenly they're paired up and all the variation that can happen in these sets. But this is the final. The splice. Yeah. Final round here, final set. So this will go to DK for the first pick of set 5. DK going right into the crazy stuff. Picking Bowser's Castle to begin with here. Big suspense. I think there's 1 shortcut and 2 flap jokers. I'm pretty sure that's what's in the rules. Okay, both are ready. Give them the countdown. I guess one question I've had that I should probably ask is, I don't think the jokers reset with the track pool, but I also don't remember seeing anything specifically about that in the rules. All right, Cheech getting through. Nice clean mushroom. Same for DK. And a little bit of a snag on the wall, but not too bad. DK getting in a little cleaner there through the first set of thwomps. Both looking pretty clean down the staircase. Like maybe DK's spiral was a little bit better. 38-35. 38-35. Tied first lap. Oh my god. Crazy. All right. Cheech gets through clean. DK also through clean. Cheech and it looked like DK both getting a little scared by that thwomp, so DK had a little bit of a bonk on one of those walls there that might have evened them out a bit. Both having a bit of a mistake there, but nothing too huge. 38-48. 38-56. Wow, this is so close, but that brings Cheech ahead by a little less than a tenth. The thwomps are in a nice position for both of them, but all right, both falter a little bit. Those thwomps in the last room on this pace are pretty scary. It's looking pretty even. I want to say DK might have gone through that last room of thwomps a little bit cleaner. But let's see. 155.08. 155.41. So that one goes to Cheech. That is nice start for Cheech. You love to get the first point and also your opponent's pick. But now he's going to have to keep it going. Keep that moxie up there. That was really good from both players, though. Like, those splits are all very tight within each other. And Cheech really brought the let out or whatever for lap 3. Yeah, the tied lap 1 was crazy. But yeah, those thwomp patterns put you in tricky positions there. All right, so now it is Cheech's pick going to Wario Stadium 3 lap, which is a smart choice based on the first rep of this one. See if it can even keep that that same pace. Both are ready. See what happens this time. You never know that, sometimes when you repeat a track, the person who was behind the first time kind of learns from their mistakes and goes for exactly what they need to. But let's see. Both doing the same straightaway start, which is smart. Keeping things clean, not going too risky. Probably going to come down a lot to the mushroom, but also just little bonks like that you saw on DK's screen can add up. Very nice line there from Cheech. DKtsunami holding on to the mushroom. Maybe you're going to use it on a different spot this time, since the first time around he was hitting the wall. So that might just be his own strat this time, which makes sense. Using it on the hill up here. Both are looking pretty clean for the most part. Getting out all of these MTs. And Cheech coming in 115.14. It seems like it was better than all of his other laps. 115.44 for DK, which is a big improvement from his laps last time. So just about 0.3 behind Cheech going into lap 2. DK letting go of the MT over those hills, which might lose a little bit of time. Cheech gets a pretty nice mushroom over there. DK going safe again. Probably going to save it for that same hill, gradual hill, coming around this next hairpin turn. Kart dancing a little bit there before the mushroom, but looks pretty good. All right, final bend here for Cheech. DK coming in a little wide around there. 115.77. 115.49. So that just about evened it out, honestly. They're going into lap 3 pretty close to each other. It seems like that strat for DK is paying off. Bit of a bonk and a cart dance there for Cheech. Yeah, I thought that line there might have lost DK sometime, but it seems like it's working out. Cheech playing it very tight. Probably knows he has to go right up against the wall to get back that time. Keep the lead. DK firing off last shroom there. It's looking pretty close. Since we've got a bit of a delay between the two. And it is 346. 49. DK takes it. Wow. Well done. Like I said, you never know. I mean, exactly what I said kind of happened. That it seems like DK took his mistakes from the first rep into account and just went for some different strategies. Changing the shroom spot, which is interesting. I don't know if I would have thought of that myself, but it really kept the rest of his driving steady, and he was able to get that mushroom clean. Making this last set interesting for sure. And now it is DK's pick. That was a great Wario Stadium from DK there. Very well played. Very smart. And honestly, very solid from Cheech as well. No big mistakes. Looks like DK might be thinking of a flap to play here, using his second flap joker. Scrolling through, seems like he's hovered over Special Cup a good amount. Going back to Flower. Okay. Toad's Turnpike Flap, which we saw earlier, but a couple sets ago, so I think we're okay to repeat it. And from what I remember, it was very close. That was one of the two that were within. I think DK took it by 1/10 of a second. So we'll see. This might be just like the last one. Maybe Cheech will tighten up some of the mistakes he made first time around. All right, give them the countdown here. They're ready. See what happens. A little bit of a cart dance there from Cheech right off the bat. A little bit smoother but shorter start boost from DK. Both getting pretty good mushrooms there on the first curve. Cheech going for the same shroom spot. Bit of a bonk around the railing, but no big time loss. DK firing off shroom number 2 around that second to last bend. And DK getting the final one here. 50-33. And 50-59. Wow, another flip-flop of the picks here. So another point to Cheech. Really interesting. That's pretty exciting. We love to see, it changing back and forth. And it's funny that you're trying to pick the one that you think you have some confident lead on, but you never know when it might switch favor. Still very close though. So now it is back to Cheech for potential match point here. And he is picking Royal Raceway Fast Lap, which once again seems like a confident pick based on the last Royal Raceway, but let's see. DK is ready. And Cheech is ready. Here they go. Yes, Vansky, DK trying to outsmart DK to become the DK of DKs for DK supremacy. All right. Both looking pretty solid here to start. Good hairpin jump there for both. First mushroom looking pretty nice from Cheech, and the second. Both looked pretty good on those. No big mistake. Let's see how this last mushroom goes. Cheech losing a little bit of speed there. 47.96. 48. So that is Cheech taking the win just by a frame, literally, right? 04. So many close races in this one. And very exciting that, DK took the first two sets and then Cheech came back very strong. You never know what's going to happen there. Very exciting match. Awesome driving from both. Yeah, very entertaining. So many of these were like within a tenth of a second from each other. Great performance from both. But that will be Cheech for the win. Good stuff. That hairpin, that can be a killer. Or yeah, four. I think a frame is 400ths, so it was an 04 difference there. So literally by a frame at the end. No better way to end it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna raid somebody here. Not sure if I'll be streaming later. I might honestly just be practicing offline for my one try match tomorrow versus Enta, who is significantly lower ranked, but at the same time, like really good at one tries. I am legitimately sort of, I'm trying to practice in advance because I know he's gonna Like he could definitely beat me in the whole thing. Um, Got to make sure I'm got my picks ready and can drive well, and don't want to give away any of my picks, so I might be doing it offline. But looks like Abney is streaming, so of course we'll bring the raid to the master. Abney raid for attention. Thanks for the good luck. Have a good one, everybody. See you later.